Cougs get the first win, the opening round of the NCAA tournament with a 5-1 performance. Super proud of these girls on a great result here to start off.
Now that you can put it in perspective, 3 straight home losses in the NCAA tournament, you get the result tonight in convincing fashion. How does it feel for you, and what does it mean for you to be the coach to finally put this program over the hump there?
I mean, it's great, but we did that last year. I get it, we were away. I mean, but we did a lot more last year on the road than we did here tonight at home. So, yeah, it's important to get that off our back. We didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest with you. So we just moved on, got the result, and here we go.
You beat Montana earlier in the season. You beat them again tonight, but it was honestly more sounding this time around. Great offensive showing. Is this team playing at as high of a level of soccer as you've seen throughout the season?
Yeah, and credit to the girls, but credit to this conference. I mean, we played them early on. They're a great team, don't get me wrong. They did a great job this season, what they did. But the Pac-12 is a different beast. We see our game and our level each game is increased, the performance and the pace of the game, the players we're playing against. So to score 8 goals on them this year, that was an awesome feat for us.
Morgan, they were applying quite a bit of pressure on you individually throughout the first half, and then they really compressing on the back line. Was it tough for you and the rest of the offense at all to stay patient throughout that first half, knowing that opportunities would come later?
I think in the beginning we were a little nervous, a little frantic, and then I think throughout the game we kind of just talked to each other, like brought each other over and we're like, hey, we got this, we need to calm down a little bit, and I think it started to really pick up in the second half.
Coach, you don't know who your opponent is next Friday night, but what adjustments you want to see from your team in the next week before the second round?
Well, we want to continue. I thought our defense was outstanding tonight. I challenged them a couple weeks ago to get back on track, and they did it. And then the offense picked it up. We had a nice little talk at halftime, and they picked it up. So I want to say just maintaining a defensive flow and offensive rhythm at the same time. We'll find out our opponent tomorrow. We're either going to go to Georgetown to play Georgetown, or we're going to go to Duke to play the Blue Devils. So each game is going to be a great game. We've been there, done that. This conference has tested us for this, but I would say just consistently rhythm on both sides of the ball.
Throughout these last couple of weeks, we've talked about some of the second stringers really elevating their play. Haley, you had 2 assists and a goal tonight. What have you learned from playing alongside Morgan and then Elise Bennett too, and what's enabled you to really take your game to the next level here like you did tonight?
I mean, both of them are definitely players that I look up to. Having Elise be out this game was definitely really hard, but in practice we're just working hard and getting better, and training against those girls has helped me build the confidence to do what I did tonight.
What was it like to score an NCAA tournament goal? That's a pretty special moment.
Oh, it was amazing, and it came from an assist from my best friend, so that was even better.
And she's too humble. How about that goal? Volley out of the air. I mean, that was a first-class goal tonight, Haley.
Coach, you look at 4 second goals here in the second half, and then another great showing against UW last week. Is, strong second half showings, do you think that's really becoming a part of this individual team's identity, especially offensively? No,
I just think it's just what's happened these last 2 games. You got some good teams you're playing against. I mean, I'd like to have a balanced attack in both halves of the game. You don't want to just drag it out to the second half. But we had to make some adjustment at halftime. We had to reevaluate our offense and make some key points, and the response is what's key here. It doesn't really matter which half, the response is what was positive here.
And another player who's not sitting here, Lele Hernandez-Represa, she had a tremendous game tonight again, really doing well both offensively and defensively. What's the ceiling for Lele, do you think?
It's big. I mean, she's a Southern California kid who was recruited to come up here to play as a defender or a holding midfielder, and sort of like Akil last year, these freshmen are getting their moments now. They're growing. Haley, Alele, Molly, I mean, the list goes on what they're doing, but Alele stepped up as an outside back and doing her job.
Morgan, on that goal, it looked like you rotated the ball to your left foot with your calf. That's not something many forwards can do. I mean, how have your ball skills really developed over the past year or 2? And what sort of allowed you to elevate your play there to that next level?
I think Coach Greg has helped me a lot. He has helped me after practice and staying after and working on my shots, just being able to get my touches down. And I think last week we started doing just some technical work, and I think that's helped a lot too.
Last one for me now, Coach. Tonight, the Pac-12 outscored all 5 of its opponents 21-1. You guys weren't scoreboard watching, of course, but what does that say about the strength of this conference as a whole and what it might be able to do in this tournament?
It says a lot. It's disappointing we only got 5 teams in. This conference deserves more. I mean, Colorado, Arizona State, Oregon, your list goes on. So the balance of this conference is top-notch, and you just said it. The amount we outscored opponents tonight is pretty impressive. And you got 3 of arguably the best teams in America. We're right there with them, and Arizona is just as fantastic. So, go Pac-12 and go Cougs for sure.
Coach, the temperatures are near freezing tonight, and a lot of fans kind of came out. What do you see from the crowd?
It was fun to see them. I mean, if we'd have played Florida, it would have been better. It's the Grizzlies, so they're used to the cold too. So, so all the fans are probably used to it. But, you know, we'd have liked to have an SEC opponent up here maybe. But, I mean, we handled it. We trained in the morning. We're frosted. It's colder in the morning we're out here than in the evening. So we're definitely used to it.
This could go to all three of you, but how important was that 5-game losing streak in the middle of the year in growing your team and preparing you guys for the playoffs?
Well, I think the growth started last year on our success that carried into the fall, okay, and the 10-0 start. What happened in the 5-game, we had some unfortunate injuries that took place, and we started to feel sorry for ourselves, and we had to evaluate our lineup and positional changes. So the girls had to understand the changes that I was going to make, and then we had to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. I mean, look what Haley did tonight. I mean, she said Elise was out, next person up. Look what Rachel's done for Ella. Look what Aleli's done for Akila. I mean, the list goes on. So it's growth and development. I mean, they're put in the spotlight, but this happened last year on a run. 6 freshmen started last year all the way to the round of 16. And I think we had 3 to start tonight, and we emptied the bench all the way through in our first round game, which was impressive.